paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature.
This is Folk Alex Jones bringing us in from Super Deluxe.
That's why they want to try to keep us
out. Thanks, Alex Jones.
I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Chimeras scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive, selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out.
Welcome to Radio Bravery Live. I'm your host, Justin Bellshaw. We are currently live. YouTube.com/RadioBravery.
I have them on video.
This is Folk Alex Jones. Look it up on YouTube.
Here is in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
Well, this is pretty much my new favorite song there, folks. You can look it up on YouTube, Alex Jones Folk Song, or Folk Alex Jones. Let's get that thing to billions of views, man. Let's get it up there, because this is a awesome video with tons of actual information in it as well. He's putting together a version of it with all the links and articles to everything he talks about, which I don't even need those, because I can already assure you that everything he says in that video, Folk Alex Jones, is true, and I've seen it all, every single thing for myself. And so I love to see the real truth getting out there in a, meme form, in a funny joke form. That's what I love about Alex Jones. He doesn't mind when people make fun of him, and he doesn't mind making fun of himself. And that's what I do here, I make fun of people, I make fun of myself, and, it's all fun and games, because we're in a really serious fucking time right now. And we really have to be a little lighthearted about it, because otherwise you'll go fucking insane with all the negativity. I know I do sometimes. But this is a special report about human-animal chimeras and genetically modified everything, GMO America. So let's jump into some of the articles here. The latest that I wanted to start with that spurred this special report, human-animal chimera special report. And again, their website's youtube.com/RadioBravery. I've got 18 subscribers now. Whoop, whoop. But yeah, over 2,100 views. We are just racking them up. So thank you so much. Keep tuning in live. I've got plenty more special reports coming this week on youtube.com/RadioBravery. But this is from the Express, the Daily Express. China unveils gene technology to create superhumans with hypermuscular test tube dogs. Armies of super soldiers were now a step closer to reality today after China announced it was genetically engineering hypermuscular super dogs. They have videos and pictures of these dogs. The dogs, which are test tube bred. Now, a lot of people don't even really know that animals and human-animal chimeras are being grown in test tube laboratories right now as we speak. The test tube dogs bred in a lab have twice the muscle mass of their natural counterparts and are considerably stronger and faster. The canine genome has been especially difficult to engineer and replicate, but its close similarity to the human genome means that it has long been the prize of geneticists. Now the Chinese success has led to fears the same technology could be used to create weaponized superhumans. Yes, folks, when they're telling you what they're doing, they've already done further than that, okay? They are incrementally conditioning you to be okay with these disgusting freak dogs because they're already doing it on humans, okay? Just get that straight. This is not news. This has already been happening. If you don't believe me, let's jump to this article right here from technologyreview.com. This is MIT. Okay, this is MIT Technology Review from MIT. Okay, human-animal chimeras are gestating on U.S. research farms. Human-animal chimeras are gestating on U.S. research farms. That is the headline. Look it up yourself. Do your own research. Don't trust me. Trust your gut. Human-animal chimeras are gestating on U.S. research farms. A radical new approach to generating human organs is to grow them inside pigs or sheep. Braving a funding ban put in place by America's top health agencies, some U.S. research centers are moving ahead with attempts to grow human tissue inside pigs and sheep with the goal of creating hearts, livers, and other organs needed for transplants. Oh, doesn't it sound loving? No, it's not loving, you guys. This is fucking freaky, and the next thing that's gonna come is, do these human animals have rights? How human are they? Do they think? Do they have consciousness? This is where we're getting, and this is very, very scary. The agency in a statement said it was worried about the chance that animals' cognitive state could be altered if they ended up with human brain cells. Yeah. This is real. This is really happening. Last September, in a reversal of earlier policy, the National Institutes of Health announced it would not support studies involving such human-animal chimeras until it reviewed the scientific and social implications. Yeah, the animals might gain a cognitive state if they end up with human brain cells. How are they going to even know? How are they going to know how much human brain cells they have until the fucking 3rd or 4th or 5th or 6th or 10th generation, when all of a sudden they're thinking and walking around and we're voting in Congress whether they should be able to take our fucking country from us? Yeah, that's what's going to happen, folks. Terminator genes. You ever heard of them? This is insane. Human-animal chimeras. This is a special report from RadioBravery Live. Let's look at the next BBC article. The birth of half-human, half-animal chimeras. The quest to create animals with human organs has a long history, and now it's becoming a reality. Has science taken a step too far? Yes. In H.G. Wells' The Island of Dr. Moreau, the shipwrecked hero Edward Pendrick is walking through a forest glade when he chances upon a group of 2 men and a woman squatting around a fallen tree. They are naked apart from a few rags tied around their waist, with fat, heavy, chinless faces, retreating foreheads, and scant, bristly hair upon their foreheads. Pendrick notes, I never saw such bestial-looking creatures. As Pendrick approaches, they attempt to talk to him, but their speech is thick and slopping, and their heads sway as they speak, reciting some complicated gibberish. Despite their clothes and their appearance, he perceives the irresistible suggestion of a hog, a swinish taint in their manner. They are, he concludes, grotesque travesties of men. Wandering into Dr. Moreau's operating room one night, Pendrick eventually uncovers the truth. His host has been transforming beasts into humans, sculpting their bodies and brains into his own image, but despite his best efforts, he can never eliminate their most basic instincts, and the fragile society soon regresses to dangerous anarchy, leading to Moreau's death. It is 120 years since Wells published this novel, and to read some recent headlines, you would think we are veering dangerously close to this dystopic vision. Frankenstein scientists developing part human, part animal chimera explained the UK's Daily Mirror in 2016. Science wants to break down the fence between man and beast, the Washington Times declared 2 months later, fearing that sentient animals would soon be unleashed upon the world. Homer describes chimeras as fire-breathing lion-snake hybrid. This has been talked about for hundreds of years, and now we are approaching the time when we may see it either again or for the first time, who knows. But this is not okay, at least without an open debate. No one is talking about this. You probably had no clue that this was even happening. Next article, livescience.com, Human Animal Chimeras, Biological Research and Ethical Issues. There's a picture of a rat with two different colored eyes, an albino and a pink eye, brown skin, white skin, all mixed together. It looks like a mutant rat. In Greek mythology, the chimera was a magnificent monster. It was an unusual melange of animals with a lion's head and feet, a goat's head sprouting off its back, and a serpentine tail. It wrought great destruction and until the hero Bellshaw killed the monster with the aid of a winged horse Pegasus. In scientific terms, the word chimera retains the essence of its mythical roots. A chimera is made of cells that are derived from two or sometimes more organisms. These parent organisms may be of the same or different species. The defining feature of a chimera is that the individual cells in its body are not all the same. They are genetically distinct instead of a mixture of genes from each parent organism. So this is not hybridization, this is modification, okay? There's a difference between hybridization and modification. A given cell contains the genetic information of only one parent organism. Thus, a chimera is made up of populations of cells that are genetically identical to each of its parent organisms. So it is combining and merging two complete genetically identical parent organisms together, forcing them together into a chimera, which is very, very unsafe. They have no idea what the repercussions of this will be genetically, especially second or third term down the line, generations. Let's move forward to the next article here. This is from theweek.com, 7 genetically modified animals that glow in the dark. I often use this argument with my friends and whatnot when we're having a beer, just to bring up conversation, but no one ever believes me. But let's look at the article right here. Sheep. Good news, nighttime shepherds. Sheep can glow in the dark. When these sheep were born in October 2012, scientists at the Animal Reproductive Institute of Uruguay immediately injected them with green protein found in the Aquaria Victoria jellyfish. As the sheep grew, they looked and acted like any four-legged balls of fluff, except they have a green glow when exposed to ultraviolet light. Rabbits, pigs, monkeys, dogs, cats, fish, that seems to be 7, yep, 7 genetically modified animals that glow in the dark. You can find that article at theweek.com. All these animals are for sale. You can buy Reese's monkeys that glow in the dark in China. And yes, it's all true, folks. It is all true. Let's look at this article from berkeley.edu, news.berkeley.edu. This is directly from the University of California, Berkeley, by Robert Sanders Media Relations, March 1st, 2010. Pesticide atrazine can turn male frogs into females. This is what Alex Jones is constantly harassed about. Oh, turning the frogs gay. Well, the frogs are not technically gay. They just do not have sex with female frogs anymore, and they're dying, and their numbers are falling because of all the artificial estrogen in the water. Atrazine, one of the world's most widely used pesticides, wreaks havoc on the sex lives of adult male frogs, emasculating 3/4 of them and turning 1 in 10 into females, according to a new study by the University of California, Berkeley biologists. The 75% that are chemically castrated are essentially dead, because they're unable to reproduce in the wild. These male frogs are missing testosterone, and all these all the things that testosterone controls, including sperm. So their fertility is as low as 10% in some cases. And that is only if we isolate those animals and pair them with females, he said. In an environment where they're competing with unexposed animals, they have 0% chance of reproducing. So there's that myth busted for you right there. The frogs are turning into hermaphrodites, or females, and are completely asexual, have no reproductive value at all. This is another article from Popular Science, popsci.com. Genetically modified algae could soon show up in food, fuel, and pharmaceuticals. Researchers created souped up algae that can thrive outdoors. Algae can be used for anything. You can grind it into cattle feed or squeeze it into jet fuel, but you can even make it into algae butter. Oh god, they make it sound so loving at Pop Science. Yeah, genetically modified algae. Did you know that if you throw it out there, it'll take over everything? Ha! No big deal. It just might be the only algae ever. Just like that goddamn old aluminum in the soil. Well, Monsanto's got an aluminum resistant seed. Yeah, that's why geoengineering, you can just look up thousands of patents from the Air Force to the Department's Transportation, all kinds of organizations, private companies, Lockheed Martin, I'm sure, are taking out patents to add barium and aluminum to the jet fuel so that it pours down into our soil and rains aluminum in the soil, which soaks up all the nutrients. And then Monsanto has an aluminum resistant seed, which is the only seed that will be able to grow in that aluminum heavy soil. But back to this. For now, algae-based products remain woefully expensive, but a group of California scientists are working on making them a whole lot cheaper. Researchers at the University of California, San Diego, and Sapphire Energy have successfully grown a genetically engineered strain of algae outdoors for the first time. Importantly, the modified strain doesn't hurt native algae populations. Oh, sure, no biggie. It doesn't hurt other algae, so they could just let it on out there, no big. So yeah, GMO algae about to be released. Then we've got this one right here from the New York Times. Genetically engineered salmon approved for consumption. Now, I was covering this 4 years ago, but this is from 2015. It's already been approved now. I was covering this 4 years ago, and I was totally against it. I'm still against it, but it's too fucking late, because scientists and biologists warn that if they release this salmon into the natural river system, that it would eventually, over time, dominate all other salmon, all natural salmon, and all other real salmon would die off, because this salmon, if you can see, if you go do your own research, NewYorkTimes.com, genetically engineered salmon approved for consumption, you can look at the picture that the GMO salmon is 3 times the size of a normal salmon, and they completely take over and dominate the river systems. Federal regulators on Thursday in 2015 approved a genetically engineered salmon as fit for consumption, making it the first genetically altered animal to be cleared for American supermarkets and dinner tables. The approval by the FDA, pieces of garbage, trash, traitors at the FDA who want to take down our fucking country and take down our freedom and our free right to eat and grow our own food. The deathly evil FDA. The approval by the FDA caps a long struggle for Aqua Bounty Technologies, a small company that first approached the FDA for approval in the 1990s. The agency made its initial determination that the fish would be safe to eat and for the environment more than 5 years ago. The approval of the salmon has been fiercely opposed by some consumer and environmental groups, really. Which have argued that the safety studies were inadequate and that wild salmon populations would be affected if the engineered fish were to escape in the oceans and rivers. And that is the point, that is the goal, and that's what they want to do. They want you to only be able to eat their food that they control, that they can patent. So you can't find your own food. You can't be in control of your own independence. And that's what this country is all about. And this is what we should be standing against. Because this is the opposite of our country. This is the opposite of a free country. And this is the opposite of independence. Now, the last article I'm going to cover here in this Human-Animal Chimera special is a CBS News article from 2014, June 25th, where the headline is Study on Genetically Modified Corn, Herbicide, and Tumors Reignites Controversy. And there are some of the most disgusting pictures of lab rats that you've ever seen, which have been eating GMO corn. And they're just protruding with tumors all over their body. Blah, blah, kill me. These mutant rats, these mutant disgusting rats are just blah, blah. And that's what we got going on, and that's what's going to happen to the second, third, fourth, fifth generation of everybody eating fucking GMO corn. Okay, a controversial study about genetically modified corn was retracted last year after scientists raised doubts about its findings, has just been republished in another journal, reigniting the debate over food safety and scientific responsibility. The study, first published in September 2002 issue of Food and Chemical Toxicology and then retracted in 2013, claimed to link genetically modified corn to Monsanto's Roundup herbicide with tumor growth and death risks in rats. The study made headlines around the world with its shocking photos of rats who purportedly were more likely to develop large tumors and die after eating Monsanto's genetically modified maize, which is treated with Roundup killer. But in November 2013, the journal's publisher, Elsevier, announced that after a thorough and time-consuming analysis, the study was being retracted due to concerns about the research methodology. Oh, no way. We couldn't have people actually doing research and releasing the information and letting you know if it's not fucking safe. But Elsevier emphasized there was no evidence of fraud or intentional misrepresentation. It said the study's findings were simply inconclusive. But yeah, it's back out there, and everybody knows, and the cat's out of the bag. We all know what your fucking disgusting genetically modified shit does, and it gives tumors and brings death, and it brings the end of independence. The researchers, led by biologist Dr. Gilles Eric Serlani of Caen University in France, protested and even threatened to sue, suggesting that economic interests were behind the decision and hinting at impropriety since a former Monsanto employee had recently joined the journal's staff. Oh, really? Really? That's so interesting that a ex-Monsanto employee joins the staff right as they take the study out and pull it about Monsanto's food. Wow. Wow, isn't that interesting? As Barack Obama had the biggest revolving door of Monsanto workers I've ever seen in my entire life. In, out. EPA, Monsanto. Monsanto, EPA. Monsanto, EPA, EPA, Monsanto. Boop, 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 boop. Yep, that's how it goes. Just in and out, in and out. So, human-animal chimeras are here. They're gestating on U.S. farms. I just showed you New York Times, BBC, Technology Review, Daily Express, Live Science, The Week, Berkeley, MIT, CBS. I just showed you it all. And it's there. So anybody who wants to say it's not true, do your own research. Don't trust me. Trust your gut. This is Radio Bravery Live. I'm your host, Justin Bellshaw. Join me in subscribing, youtube.com/RadioBravery for all updates and new special reports coming soon. There's a lot. And I'm going to take you back out with Folk Alex Jones, the best video on the internet today.
Out there, the goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice, and itself rising up against us. Millions of
so much for joining me live. I'm Justin Bellshaw, youtube.com/RadioBravery. This is Radio Bravery Live, Human Animal Chimeras special report. Thank you. See you soon.